could not let a Kentucky Derby week go by without speaking to Coach D. Wayne Lukas. And we, of course, did just hear that he does have another runner in the Kentucky Derby in Ethereal Road, as well as a very talented filly in the Oaks, Secret Oath. So I'm here to catch up with him and see how he thinks they're going to fare. We'll start, of course, with Ethereal Road, going to run in the Kentucky Derby. He'll be your 50th Kentucky Derby start. Of course, last minute, you kind of heard that he was going to draw in. Was it an easy decision to make?
Yes, I'll tell you, I've been there and done it and enjoyed the whole festivities and the races and even the winter circle. So it was important for me to, I think, try to get a new client, that has been with me only a year and a half or 2 years to get in the race. They wanted to be in it. And so I did whatever I could to get them in it. It meant a lot to get them in it. And that was the big important push.
Yeah, well, I'm very glad that you're going to have a chance to have another runner. It wouldn't be the same without you. You're going to have jockey Luis Contreras aboard again. He's won on him at Oaklawn in the past, of course, his first career win, his only win to date. What kind of contributed to that decision?
Well, we had used Victor Espinosa in the Bluegrass, and we had talked about Victor was going to come to the Derby, but then when we were on the also eligible, or didn't look like we were going to get in at all, Victor and I talked, and I said, Victor, it's not fair for you to sit out both days. In other words, if we didn't get in the Derby, he'd sit that out, and if we didn't, he'd also given up all his mounts in California. So I said, you need to book your mounts in California because it doesn't look like we're going to get in. So now when we got in, he had committed to quite a number of, including a couple of good horses out there in California. And I didn't think it was fair for him to, leave them hanging either. So right. We talked it over and decided to go back to Luis Contreras.
And talking a little bit about Ethereal Road coming into this race, what did you make of his run in the Lexington at Keeneland and just his campaign so far?
Well, he should have won the Rebel. And that he moved, Lewis moved probably a little too quick on him. He knows that. We hung there the last jump or two. We probably should have won that race, but then when we came back in the Lexington, that was my fault. I was trying to get these people in the race, and we probably came back too quick. That was just a week break, and that was probably not the best decision, but we were trying real hard to get in. As it turned out, we got in anyhow.
So how do you feel like he's coming into the Kentucky Derby then? Do you think he's got enough time to kind of perhaps get over that short turnaround?
Yes, he's showing that. He's had a good couple of weeks, and he was very sharp today. I don't have to work him. I don't have to do anything but just keep him happy. So I think he'll be an entirely different horse. I think he'll be back to his old form in the Derby again. You never know, but I feel comfortable.
And as he drew in late, he's got the outside gate 20. The only winner to have come from there was Big Brown in 2008. Does that worry you?
No, that's a position I'd like to have.
How come? Do you tell?
If I could have picked a spot, that would have been it.
All right, because what would be the game plan with him?
Well, because he's a closer, and the first 1 through 12 are all the speed horses, so they're going to string him out pretty good. And we just want to run on the outside. We don't need a lot of dirt in our face. We don't need to be jostled around, bumped around. We just need a clean trip on the outside and to the clubhouse turn. So that post position doesn't bother me a bit. I like that.
Well, I very much love the confidence going into that 148th Kentucky Derby. Let's also talk about your leading lady, your filly, Secret Oath, who will be running in the Kentucky Oaks. Of course, the first thing that kind of came to mind with her when you ran her in the Arkansas Derby against the boys is your Kentucky Derby winning filly winning colors. Secret Oath, of course, now back against the same sex in the Kentucky Oaks. How did she come out of the Arkansas Derby?
She came out of it. She came out of it very well, but that was a tough race, and I think in my heart I thought she should have won it. She again had a troubled trip, and it didn't help her chances any at all. But she ran a very credible race considering everything that happened. But the big thing there was we had 5 weeks from that race to the Oaks, and so. If we wouldn't have had a 5-week window of time, I probably wouldn't have done that. We were trying to win $1,250,000 race. We didn't have any aspirations of running back in the Kentucky Derby, even if we'd have won that. Okay. So the Oaks was always on our radar, and the 5-week window was very important.
Well, you're talking about the timeline between races. Of course, we just compared Ethereal Road coming into the Kentucky Derby. What would be the perfect prep for a filly like Secret Oath coming into the Oaks? You mentioned a 5-week timeline. Is that something that you always kind of plan out that way?
No, but I really like it. It's a new deal at Arkansas. It's always been 4 weeks, and I really like the 5-week interval.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about her draw. She drew the rail. Of course, it's about a furlong and a half run up to the turn, but I don't believe she's an out-and-out speed filly. How do you rate your chances with that draw? Do you think it helps or hurts?
Neither. Okay. I think that I think we just you have no control over the draw, so we'll just deal with the one hole. You never know how the one holes. Sometimes it's a very big advantage, when you get to that turn, if you break smooth and everything. So we don't know just how it's going to unfold there. There's other faster fillies in the race, so we'll probably be laying in our customary position of mid-pack somewhere, but. We'll just deal with that. We have no control over it anyhow.
No, that's very true, and probably the right attitude to have towards it. Of course, there is going to be a new jockey on her back in Louis Size. Tell me a little bit what went into that decision.
Well, I love him. He's always been a great rider. We won the Traverse with him in different races. He's been a rider that I'm very fond of, and when we had a chance to get him on her, we decided to do that.
Of course, one last question on Secret Oath. How much do you think it helps that she's already got a win over the track on board?
Not much. It was a long time ago, but she does love the racetrack. She does like it, I can tell you that. She's worked well over it with moisture in it. She's worked well over it with it's dry. I think she has a serious affinity for this racetrack.
Well, that's very, very good to hear. It's going to be an incredibly competitive renewal.
Oh boy, the best I've seen in my training career.
But that's quite something coming from you, Mr. Lukas. Of course, you've seen plenty of renewals. This is definitely one.
This is as good as it gets. You got those undefeated fillies all over the place, and it's on any other year she'd be 3-2. She's 6 or 8-1 whenever they made her. I don't know, 6-1, I guess.
Yeah, I think she's a couple down the pecking order in terms of the morning line because of those heavyweight other fillies that are in. I do believe Ness has been made the 5-2 favorite just now before as well. But look, Mr. Lukas, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you best of luck with both your runners, Ethereal Road in the Kentucky Derby, as well as Secret Oath in the Kentucky Oaks.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.